Welcome to Toby's Sideshow of Scale Styrene. If you like this video, please take a moment to leave a comment. Even better, share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel so you'll know when the next video is available.
Hello, welcome back. So in an earlier video, the one on the new circus wagon that I'm working on, I mentioned that there were some other things that I had been working on that were postponed that I needed to get started on as well. One of them was the Aurora Witch. Well, actually, it's the witch that was done by Polar Lights. You know that when they reissued the Aurora Witch, I was planning this pretty elaborate diorama for her, and it got sidetracked, but I'm going to kind of go over what the plan is with the diorama. And as you can see, it's kind of like a shadow box here. I'll raise this up a bit. And you can see I did start on it. You've got some of the wallpaper here. It's going to be the interior view of like a fortune teller's parlor. And the witch is going to be the fortune teller. And you can see the wallpaper back here. This is what it looks like. It's a bunch of fleur-de-lises, and what this is supposed to represent is like a fortune teller's parlor in New Orleans. And I'm going to put on the back wall and on the sides there, and I might even close off the third wall over here, this wood here, which I've painted. And this is going to be, I've got to cut all this wood up so that it'll be running along the side here, and then there'll be a rail along the top, so you know it'll be like it's supposed to be a wood bottom and then a rail along it. I might cut a window in the wall. I'm not sure yet. I'm still debating on that. The wall over here also has to be done. I'm thinking I might be putting a door in this side. I don't know, and that's because the more I do with the building here, the more this thing gets postponed. The other thing I got to do is put a floor on here. Originally, I was planning on putting wood down for the floor also. I'm almost at the point of thinking, instead of putting down a wood floor, just getting some nice paper or something that looks like stone to put down as a floor, instead of actually putting a wood floor down, because it'll be faster. You know, it's one of those things that I'm thinking about, because a good chunk of this floor is going to be covered anyway. Now, as I mentioned, one of the central characters of the video is going to be the witch, which I have painted, and she, as you can tell, is kind of in Mardi Gras colors. She's in purple and gold and green, and then there's some yellow going on with her. Of course, her apron is just white. But I have done some modifying on her. I will do a couple I'll do a slideshow of some of the photos at the end. Well, one thing you can see right away is her she doesn't have that spoon in her hand. I thought the spoon looked stupid to begin with. And instead she has a wand in her hand, some kind of magic wand. And this was made out of a piece of twisted plastic sprue. And if you notice, on the end of the wand, there is a creepy looking hand. And then at the top of the wand is like a woman's head. And the head was made out of a 1/32 scale figure's head, and then I added hair to it, so to turn it into a woman instead of a man. And then instead of a bat, I actually took a 1/48 scale pilot figure and added some putty to him and everything else, remade his hand and everything to turn him into like a cat-like figure. The head is actually the head of the bat that has been modified a little bit, put on there. I've got to reattach a tail again. His tail fell off. But what it is she's not only a fortune teller, she's going to be a crazy cat lady. So that's what she's going to be doing. And she's going to be standing somewhere in the back here. Let me see if I have something to keep her holding up. So I will have her somehow in the back here, standing probably next to a sign that describes everything about her. On the other side of the room, the cool thing about the witch is she's not 1/8 scale. She's 1/12 scale. And that's perfect for everything that I was going to do. And I wish actually that more model companies did things in 1/12, 1/13 scale, because those scales fit perfectly with a lot of stuff that is used for dollhouses, because dollhouses have a scale known as 1/2 inch scale, and 1/2 inch equals 1/2 inch to a foot, so it is 1/12 scale. Well, I'm sorry, it's 1 inch scale, whatever. In any case, it comes out to 1/12 scale. So yeah, 6 inches, blah blah blah. Any case, the 1/12 scale is the same as the dollhouse scale for all of the furniture in a lot of dollhouses. So one of the things I got for my diorama here is this wonderful pipe organ. Well, organ at least. And you see the pedals and everything else, and that's going to be in her parlor, and it will be going against the wall over here. So we have some nice looking furniture going in there. And on top of that, another thing, if she's going to be a fortune teller, she needs a table for the fortune telling. And so there'll be a table in the middle of the room also, so that she'll be able to do her fortune telling. And we got some chairs to go around the table, obviously. And then obviously, if you're fortune telling, you need a crystal ball. And so I made this crystal ball. Now the crystal ball itself is just a marble, a clear marble. But the claw here came out of the Aurora diorama sets, the old Aurora diorama sets. They were also reissued by Polar Lights, and the claw is actually the one of the feet from one of the Vultures in the kit. I had to cut it up a little bit to get it to fasten around the marble, and then the base of it is actually made from a golf tee, and that will end up going on the table. Most likely it will have to be glued onto the table so it won't fall over, but it'll look pretty cool like that. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, the floor is going to be covered, but it's also going to have a nice rug on it. And so I've got this oriental rug that will be going underneath the table. So you see that. Let me get that in place here. Like I said, it's going to be a rather elaborate diorama once it's done. I'm really looking forward to it, but I just got sidetracked and just kind of forgot all about it. Got all the parts there, just got to put it together. So we can see how it's starting to come into shape. And like I mentioned, she's going to be a crazy cat person. So I've got all these monster scene cats, the feral cats. I've got 3 of them that I've made that will also be in the scene. And so we can put those around here and there. I got one that is a kind of a motley looking one that's kind of like a tortoise shell. We got an all white one that has a gold eye and a green eye. Well, actually a gold eye and a blue eye. And then we also have the classic tabby in the Monster Scenes kitty cats. So we've got those going on. Let's move you back somewhere where you can be seen too. Can't put you too far back, because there's one other thing that goes in this setup, because we've got her name is going to be Madam Katrina, kind of referencing Hurricane Katrina, because this is going to be New Orleans. It's going to say she'll have a sign next to her that says something about fortunes told, souls saved, blah blah blah. And one of the other things last thing that I'll say is cats rescued. And over in the corner will be her boyfriend playing the organ, because if you got a organ in the parlor, you need someone to play it, and that will be Mr. Bones here. And this is also one of the figures from Monster Scenes. I just cut the skeleton up repositioned him so that he will be able to play the organ over here. I had to file his head down quite a bit to get the hat here to fit on it also. And I gave him some nice little tattoo work on his face and such. And so we'll have Mr. Bones over here at the organ, playing the organ, Madame Katrina on one side, and then the three monster scene cats, the rug on the floor. I just got to get the walls and everything done. You can see how this is going, and I think it'll look pretty good if I ever get it done. And then finally, if I want even more cats, I've got one other thing up my sleeve, and that's I've got a wide variety of 1/12 scale cats that I can put all over the place in here. I've got like 9 or 10 of them that can easily go in there, and all I will need to do is do a little bit of painting on the plastic on them to make them look a little bit more like actual cats instead of just you know, the toy ones that you find everywhere. But that is my plan for Madame Katrina's fortune-telling studio. I mean, tell me that's not going to look cool if I ever get it done. Hopefully by posting this and getting some feedback, it'll encourage me to get moving on this and get it done, because I think it will look really cool when it's done, whether I put holes in the walls or not. I think it'll just look really good. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you think I should put in these other cats, or if the monster scene cats will be good enough. And any case, after this, stick around for the slideshow, and love to hear from you and love to hear your feedback. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for visiting Toby's Sideshow of Scale Styrene. If you liked what you saw, please take a moment to subscribe, and if you want to be notified of future episodes, don't forget to ring that bell. Thanks again.